Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson met with more senators on Capitol Hill this afternoon after her confirmation hearings wrapped. The Judiciary Committee is expected to vote on her nomination on April 4th before a final Senate floor vote that's yet to be determined. For more, let's bring in Ben Labont. Ben is the White House nomination advisor for communications. Ben, thank you for joining us. What moment stands out to you most as either most important or most memorable from this four-day confirmation hearing?
Well, look, Judge Jackson was in the chair for over 20 hours of questioning, and I think anybody watching the proceedings, your main takeaway had to be Judge Jackson has the temperament to serve on the Supreme Court. I think she demonstrated the depth of her legal knowledge and the breadth of her legal knowledge, her respect for precedent, her knowledge of cases that came before the court 100 years ago, 10 years ago, 2 years ago. She was able to answer any question from the senators from each side of the aisle that came in. And I think she did so with tremendous grace under pressure from some very tough questioning. I think the one moment last night that I think the country saw was Senator Booker's moment talking about how far Judge Jackson came as a black woman in this country to have been confirmed 3 times by the Senate before, to serve on what is considered the second highest court in the land today, and to be on the precipice of being confirmed to the Supreme Court. Hearing about her journey, hearing about the story, hearing about the fact that her parents grew up in a segregated Florida, but she's been blessed with these incredible opportunities. That was just an incredible moment that will stick with me, I think, for the rest of my life.
Other Democratic senators, Ben, were critical of Republicans for asking so many questions, such pointed questions about the judge's history of sentencing child exploitation cases. So let me bring this question to you. There is growing concern about the growing frequency of child exploitation in America. Was that topic of the judge's history of sentences unfair to explore?
Well, look, the judges had more than 570 opinions during her nearly 10 years as a judge on the bench. So I think it's fair to explore her rulings and her career as a judge. But those senators obscured the facts before the committee. Her sentences are completely in line with other federal judges, including judges appointed by Republican presidents like President Trump, that those senators supported. The federal judges in Missouri, who Senator Hawley supported, have very similar sentencing records, and the judge's sentencing record was in line with the recommendations of the U.S. Probation Office. These senators have not previously expressed an interest in this issue. They could bring a bill before the Senate to update those sentencing regulations. They've not done so. They've supported her with bipartisan support 3 times before, when her judicial record was the same. And so I think they were looking for an issue because their other attacks didn't work. First, it was, dark money groups supported the judge, and so they're not going to support her, when, of course, dark money groups on the right had actually spent more money on this nomination. Now it was this. It looked like more of an opportunity to speak to the fringe of the Republican Party, to get on Fox News, to get on Breitbart, and not to have a serious discussion with all the facts before them in the Senate.
Does the White House expect some Republicans to vote to confirm? And what's the estimate on timing the Senate leadership's given the White House?
Well, we're hopeful that Judge Jackson will receive bipartisan support. She has from the Senate 3 times before. And I'd remind you that not all senators serve on the Judiciary Committee. So there's 100 senators out there, a number of persuadable votes. The judge has been up there on Capitol Hill. She's now met with more than half the Senate, with Senator Jones at her side. And we believe there's still a number of persuadable Republicans on this. So I'm not going to predict an exact number, but I know that there are several still in play. In terms of timing, Chair Durbin and Leader Schumer have said that they'd like to get a floor vote before the Easter recess. And, we haven't heard of anything that would deter from that.
Busy week for you and former Senator Jones helping shepherd this through. We really appreciate your joining us. Ben Labont, thank you.
Thanks for having me.